Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Crescent Sound podcast, where I give you a platform to express your struggle stories. You can either email me your stories on thecrescentsound@gmail.com and I present them on the podcast for you, or I can have you come on as a guest on the podcast and you can tell your story by yourself. Anyways, I'm your host, Luna, and let's begin with today's episode. Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to the third episode for the Crescent Sound. Today's episode, Dear Best Friend, is extremely monumental for this podcast, and let me tell you why. It's because we have our first feature! Oh my god. Okay, so everyone, please welcome my best friend Lee. Hi, Lee.
Greetings, everyone. I am happy to be here today.
Yeah. How are you, Lee? How are you doing today? I haven't spoken to you in a while.
Oh, yes, you haven't. It's been a while, but I'm doing great.
Mm-hmm.
Blink, blink, blink.
Okay. Well, I guess there is a reason you're on this podcast, so do tell.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, basically that. We're managing.
Managing. Whoa, is it that bad? Are you okay?
Managing life was pretty fine.
You know what? Same. I'm also managing. We're managing
Yeah.
together.
We're
Okay.
managers, actually.
Oh, okay. I guess. Anyways. So would you like to tell us something about yourself?
Oh, yes. So again, greetings, everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name is Lee, and I am 16 years old. I am a very interesting person.
Mm-hmm. You are indeed
And
very interesting.
but yeah, apart from my very interesting personality, I like um I guess one of the things that I can say about myself is I like doing debates.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
But
okay, that's
yeah.
interesting.
Oh yes, it very much is.
Oh, have you been taking in any part? Have you been taking part in any debates recently?
Oh yes, I've taken part of a total of three debate competitions for the past
Oh,
few months.
did you win any?
I won all of them.
Oh my God! Wow. Okay, I guess you like to argue.
Yes, I am very inclined in the art of arguing with other people.
Okay, that laugh was so evil. I'm sorry. Anyways, let's begin with today's story. So, I already know what it's about, but would you like to brief our audience about it?
Actually, no. Just
Okay,
kidding.
what do you mean no?
Sure.
Okay. You want it to be okay, anyways, whatever. Yeah, continue.
Okay, so this is a story about how I met one of the most influential people, an influential individual in my whole life, and how that relationship like gone down like a full-on spiral.
Oh, okay. I think I know
Yes,
who this is, but yeah.
yes, I'll let you guess. But
Okay.
with
Uh-huh.
that said, with that said, so at the beginning, of course, it was like 4 years ago, during
Whoa.
2020.
Okay.
Yes, the pandemic. Whoa. So it was kind
Mm-hmm.
of a very sensitive time for me, sensitive time for like all of us, all humans actually.
Mm-hmm.
So it was the start of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Quarantine was just getting introduced because the first cases reached our country. So,
Mm-hmm.
being a student, you can't really do anything to like stop that. So of course, you're gonna have to adapt to the new normal, as they say here around here. So the new
Mm-hmm.
normal was like through technology we thrive, and through online we socialize. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how things worked, and that's how things still work until now. So
Mm-hmm. That's true, yeah.
it very much is. So this is around the time that I met a guy named Patrick. So the story of
Mm-hmm.
how I met him is kind of It's kind of a swift story because I was just getting in touch with a far relative that I um was not really close with, but whenever we're like together, whenever there's like a family gathering, we would have a laugh. We would, you know,
Mm-hmm.
we would be
Yeah,
there.
there's always that cousin, yeah.
Yes, that cousin, that type of cousin. So he introduced me to a group of friends and then added me to a GC in like a span of like 3 days. So,
Mm-hmm.
I got added to this group chat with um, four other people that I do not know about, and one of those people is Patrick. So,
Okay.
um, this group chat consisted of his friends that have been there for like a long amount of time. They've been friends for
Mm-hmm.
like 2 years. So I was like, oh, I'm getting into a friendship circle that um,
It's already
I'm kind
established.
of,
It can be scary,
yeah, that's
yeah.
already established. So I was very scared, but at the same time, the teenager inside me wanted to set myself apart so like I could be the center of attention as I did
Mm-hmm.
before. So yeah, I would say very alarming things, very sexual things, and there was always this one person that would respond to them either humorously or maybe even sometimes go along with a joke. But
Oh, okay.
yeah, that guy was Patrick. So
Okay. Tiny bit concerning, but yeah.
yeah, no, it was because like around the time um it was like the average teenage humor.
Yes, I know, I know.
Gosh, looking back on it, it was so scary.
Oh, it's fine. You're here now. Just move on, I
Yeah,
guess.
yes,
So then
yes.
what happened?
So what happened was I kind of connected to this guy that I never really um knew about before. Then I got to know him because I wanted to like see if my assumption was right, whether our humor would mix together or not, if our personalities were to mix each other with each other or not. So I wanted to test it
Mm-hmm.
out. So I messaged him, and like from there it just snowballed into this greatness of a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I knew a lot of things about him. Like in the first week we got to know each other's, of course, backgrounds, how we came to be.
Mm-hmm.
Some traumas are already discussed, of course. That's just how
Yep.
fast it went, and it was like a
Mm-hmm.
very refreshing situation for me because I never really got into online socializing online kind of stuff before.
Mm-hmm.
So this was very bewildering for me. It was like, oh, you can really connect with a person through online. So
Mm-hmm.
we started to like talk to each other as if we really are, well, as if we were friends for like a long time. So
Mm-hmm.
from there it just kept on going. So it would then spiral into this friendship that we would know about each other's secrets, our experiences, our
Mm-hmm.
deepest and darkest traumas, that we were never that comfortable with sharing with anybody.
Yeah.
And around that
Mm-hmm.
time, I was in the seventh grade, so
Whoa, you were
yeah,
young. Oh my
I was
God.
young, and he was in the ninth grade.
What? Wasn't he in 12th grade?
No, ninth grade. We're like 2 years apart.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, yeah, we were 2 years apart. At the
Right.
very first time that we met, I was around third, no, not 13, 15.
Okay.
No, no, no. I was right, 13.
Yeah, you're 13.
I was 13 years old and he was like 16. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
I was no, sorry. I was 14 and he was 16.
It's okay. Take your time.
It was a blurry era of mine,
That's
but
okay. It's fine.
I was that 14 years old and he was 16. So we had a lot to like talk about. And
Mm-hmm.
then we sort of grew up with each other
Mm-hmm.
because of our friendship was like so tight. We would like talk to each other every day. We would like chat each other every day. Not necessarily call because we were both busy, but um you know,
Yeah,
um,
text. You all were
daily
close.
chats, texts will always be present like every day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I then like kind of started to like drift away from the GC, or rather the group chat that I was added on,
Mm-hmm.
because I was like I never really got to know these other people that well as this guy that I'm um talking to right now. So I was like, oh, so I should just be there, but I'm not gonna socialize or try to be the center of attention anymore because I was starting to like get aware of myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can understand that. It's okay.
Y- Yeah, and it was a very grueling experience. But that's a
Okay.
story for another day. But
All
um
right. Okay.
but yeah, um um our friendship really was strong, and it became this it came from friendship, but then it turned into this more family dynamic of um having an older brother and me being the younger one,
Mm-hmm.
and never really had person to look up to in terms of like
Mm-hmm.
a brother figure. So it
So, I
was,
mean, oh, okay, okay.
yes.
Yeah, sorry,
Go,
you can
you can
continue.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just asking if you ever met him.
Met him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But we'll get to that later.
Okay. Yeah.
But so yeah, he became like the biggest brother figure to me. And
Mm-hmm.
he's someone that I share ideals with, someone that I
Mm-hmm.
share a philosophy with. So
Mm-hmm.
it was a very refreshing and a validating sight to see that another person is just as similar as me.
Yeah.
But yeah, this friendship like continued like on and on. It never really got questioned, as if like why are we really friends? Like are we friends because like we just like try to keep company with each other, or are we really friends because we genuinely like each other's company? We just were friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it was such a great feeling that there were no any malicious intent. It was just a pure
Mm-hmm.
friendship. And then came the graceful year of 2022, which majority of it is just I don't not remember, but at
Oh,
least I
that's
remember.
fair. I don't remember any of 2022 either.
Yes, I mean, who doesn't? It's like 2012 part 2.
I guess. Okay.
But
Oh wait,
with
how
yeah,
why are you taking the example of 2002? You would have been like 5 years old.
2012.
Sorry, 2012. You would have been like 5 years old.
Yeah, you're right. I would have been 5 years old, but I do
Uh,
remember. I have a good memory of my younger self.
okay.
But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
so until came the graceful year of 2022, where we actually did meet each other. So this happened
Mm-hmm.
through a friend of his that
Mm-hmm.
he introduced to me. Um,
Yeah.
then that friend of his like wanted to like set up this meet. So
Mm-hmm.
then we did. It was like a running joke around that time, like because before this event there was like another birthday. Yeah, now I remember. There was a
Mm-hmm.
birthday of one of the members of the GC, or rather the group chat. So they
Mm-hmm.
organize organized this birthday party for him. So they all
Mm-hmm.
attended except me because I was a kid and I
Aw,
didn't have any
that's so
money to go there.
sad. Aw, okay.
But yeah, being that resourceful kid that I was, I got a job like a few months after
Mm-hmm.
because I really
Independent,
wanted to be
yeah.
independent. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
so it was a pretty good job, and I was earning weekly, so I was, oh, I can join them this time, so I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I remember when I saw him, I was like, this is the exact person that I imagined. There wasn't really anything that was changed, regardless if it
Mm-hmm.
was in real life or um over the screen. We would talk to each other like normally. There was no shyness when we met each other. We went in for a hug when we first met each
Oh my
other. So
God. Okay. I could never
yeah,
do that, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, the bond was just so strong. And like one of the reasons why it was such a good friendship was because I was the taller one.
Oh my god. What do you mean you were the taller one? How does that have to do with anything about the friendship?
You know, great friendships are like when you have this dynamic of a small person, a tall person. It's something that's not
Uh-huh.
said enough.
Uh-huh.
Like
Okay.
like this one right here.
You're not oh my god. You're not even that tall, okay?
Oh, but you admit that I'm taller.
No, I'm taller than you. There's no way. There's no way I'm not
Sure,
taller than you. No, I am
I'll
taller
give
than you. Okay, whatever.
I'll
This
give it.
argument is for some other time.
Okay, but anyways,
Mm-hmm.
we ate, we served. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
We ate, we dined, and we like shared a lot of stories with each other. I remember he took me around the tour around the town where he was living at, and I got to see of course his house. Got to see his house, the place that he lived in, the area
Mm-hmm.
around it, the environment. That was like one of the things that I remembered. And one of the things to note there was like he took me to a cemetery.
Why
And it
did he
was like,
take you to a cemetery? Okay.
oh, it's because there was a lot in their town specifically. Hmm.
Okay.
So like
That's
their town was like famous of having cemeteries.
cemeteries. Weird,
Yeah,
but all right.
yeah, and the cemeteries were like very somber. You wouldn't see anyone there, even though they're famous for it. And there would
Well,
be
it's a
small.
cemetery. I don't imagine people go there for entertainment.
No, no, no. What I meant was it was very famous around the time because it was like around the time where people were dying, you know?
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh, didn't really see much people there. So I was glad still that we went around the town, but the cemetery one, I just felt like I've been there before. It's like a familiar sight to me. That's why I still remember it to this day. And like we talked for hours there until it was night. Then I had to say
Ooh,
goodbye.
creepy. Okay.
Yes, and that was like the last time that I saw him.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes, we never really got to meet each other again because, he started college. I started
Mm-hmm.
like my journey to like entering my senior high school. So
Mm-hmm.
it
Both of you were
was,
quite busy, yeah.
yes, it was a very busy time for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
So, after that, our friendship like really didn't change, but
Mm-hmm.
there was this few hiccups along the way, especially during his breakup with um yeah, during his breakup.
With his
He
partner, yeah.
Yeah, he would consolidate he would ask for consolation from me, and of course
Mm-hmm.
I would give it to him, validate him, like
Mm-hmm.
um of course like he needed someone to lean onto, and as we've been doing that for each other for a long time, I
Mm-hmm.
just did what was natural in our relationship, and we were like
Mm-hmm.
just there for each other. But whenever he's in this state of, oh, um, something's bad happening in my life, he's always taking it as if, oh, another.
Hmm.
It was kind
Another.
of like one of the thing, another thing. No, he doesn't really see it as a problem. He just skims over it, and he just invalidates his own feelings.
Mm-hmm.
He always wants to be like one step ahead of the situation, as he said. So it's like one of the red flags that I should have noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
that
seems quite like self-damaging.
Yes, and you would see why in a second, why it would
Mm-hmm.
affect, or how it would literally directly affect as to how we kind of broken off. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a few hiccups here and there, like he broke up with his partner. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he tried to find another one, was
Mm-hmm.
not successful, did the cycle over and over again, and like with another issues with his school, with his family, with some of his friends that are leaving him.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just there to like be there for him, but I uh,
Mhm.
I was I was there
Mhm.
without him asking. But there was this side of me that really wanted to go because it was either you were gonna get the bad side of him today or you're gonna get the sad side of him today. There was never really
Mhm.
that spark that we had before where we would just like talk to
Mhm.
each other for a long time, laugh with each other for a long time.
Yeah, it just
He,
seemed like you were his therapist, honestly.
yes, and it became a bit, um, you know, self
Tiring. Yeah.
tiring, yeah. And for him, it became a bit self-destructive because whenever I would, you know, console him, give him validation, he would just openly reject it and always say that he was the problem. And if
Mhm.
I do not agree on that, he would like say that I was invalidating his feelings. This is like one of the biggest things that really set,
Mhm. That's so
um,
confusing though because you're trying to make him feel better by
yeah,
validating his feelings, but then he says you're invalidating them because you're not agreeing that he's the problem. When
yeah,
okay.
yeah. I don't know. It was really a bad time for him.
Mhm.
And especially there was a lot of factors. And looking back on it now, and I know that I could have taken a different approach. But
Mhm.
with that said, I was really on the receiving end of his, frustrations.
Mhm.
And it continued on until 2023. The relationship was still there. Those hiccups was like kind of gone at the start of it. So
Mhm.
we were chatting as usual. I was trying to enter my first. I was gonna get transferred into a new school, and he was gonna
Mhm.
try for colleges. So we were both doing our thing, and we were both excited in doing it. But then
Mhm.
around came like the mid-year, and I remember it was again August. Huh.
August slipped away like a bottle of wine. Yeah, sorry. Um.
So yeah, in August of 2023 was the month where we completely broke communication with each other, and until now we haven't talked. So
Mhm.
I remember that that month specifically, everything just came down on him. Like
Mhm.
he didn't get accepted to the school that he wanted to after that. His parents are like pressuring him to get um into the school and financial problems. And apart from that is like um his relationship with um his new partner was like starting to get sour as well. And
Mhm.
his old friends, some that were part in the group chat that was mentioned earlier were starting
Mhm.
to um fight each other. So the established friendship was like kind of breaking off because everything else was breaking off. So
Mhm.
again, he would be there again. We would normally just joke about these stuff. So we did what we normally did,
Mhm.
but there was a hint of, huh, this might not end well.
Mhm.
And it was very apparent because, he really didn't change the way he would talk to me as he did when he would have his manic reactions about what was happening about his life. And when I was going to be trying to console him, he would, openly reject it as usual.
Mhm.
And he would just say the same things. But um, yeah, so it was really hard to get to him. It was like as
Mhm.
if he was asking for help, but you don't know how to help them because they don't want to get help.
Mhm.
So that was a very confusing situation for me. So I
Mhm.
just put that like energy into school, just like keep on going, keep on going. And
Mhm.
I was just updating him about what was happening about my life. Um
Mhm.
and he was just responding very cold. So
Why though?
yeah, that's the thing why. And
Mhm.
I just, shook it off because in the span of like our friendship of 3 years before this, um, you know, there would be times that we won't talk to each other, either if we were having arguments with each other or if we were just experiencing personal problems. But with that
Mhm.
said, it really didn't. um didn't go into this level that it did go. So
Mhm.
before it was just like, oh, after like a few weeks we would talk to each other, but now it was he was really not talking.
Mhm.
So from there it was he started to like exhibit these ideals of his very openly. Like
Mhm. What
he
kind
would
of
say this
ideals?
these takes on relationships and these takes on life that I really don't agree in.
Mhm.
Um so around that time I was like what 15. So I have completely had a different belief system, and I felt like I had my own except of like copying his. So
Mhm.
we would have arguments like about his takes. Like for example, his takes on social problems. He would just say that, oh, society. He would just brush it off very lightly. And I was a very opinionated person. I still am. Hence,
Mhm. Yeah,
the
debate. Mhm.
yeah, hence the interest on debates. So it really didn't sit well with me. So whenever I would disagree with him, he would have this vile reaction of, no, you're invalidating my feelings, but you can't say that because that's my opinion. And you
Yeah.
can't say that an opinion is wrong, but you know, that's
Mhm.
my opinion and I'm entitled to say it. So, I always try to like, explain to him that I'm not invalidating what you said. It's just that here's my take on your take. But then he would say that my take was wrong because his opinion is his opinion and it must not be touched.
What?
So
Okay.
it was kind of a great thing that really ruined the relationship. And
Mhm.
it was very tiring for me. So I was going through a lot of things during then as well. So, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
I thought I could go to him, try to get some um sympathy from him, but he would
Mhm.
often just brush that off as well, insensitively as well. So like
Mhm.
for example, I went through this very disappointing phase in my life where I said that, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that.
Mhm.
Maybe if it was different, then he responded with like, oh, so you just took the L. You know,
What?
you
Okay.
kind of dropped the ball on that one, dude. He would
Mhm.
say things like that. So I was like,
That's so
you know,
insensitive. What the hell?
yeah, it really is.
Mhm.
So I was very bewildered by this behavior and I just didn't respond to it because I didn't want to
Mhm.
add on to his negative energy because I knew if I would like add on top of it, it would just
End
set
up
him
in an
off.
argument. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is funny because I was the one who were thinking about these factors while he was the older one.
Mhm.
So
He's acting
yeah,
really immature. Yeah.
yeah, it really be do like that.
Mhm.
So then came the fateful day of August
Mhm.
13th of 2023,
Wow, you remember the
where,
date. Mhm.
oh yes, because it was the day that we broke communication.
Mhm.
So the day was started with um or our chat that day started with me complimenting him because I saw his reels in
Mhm.
Instagram and I told him, "Wow, you look good here." Because it was a
Mhm.
picture of him and it was not he doesn't really post pictures that much.
Mhm.
Then he replied with, "No, ew, I look fat." Then
Mhm.
I was like, "No, no, no, you look great in that shirt."
Mhm.
No. Then he responded with, "Great piggy." Then
What?
I was like, "Huh?" Then to like kind of like brush it off in a jokingly manner because I was like, "Oh, maybe he's having, maybe he's just joking around." So like
Mhm.
I told him. So if you view that if you view yourself, mind you, he was not very skinny, but he was relatively skinny.
Mhm.
So I was like, if you view yourself like that as a piggy, how do you view me? because
Okay.
we've seen each other and I am physically bigger than him.
Mm-hmm.
Not just taller, but I'm not that big from him, but I am a bit
Mm-hmm.
just a bit more bulkier than him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, how what do you think of me then?
Mm-hmm.
Then he was like, no, that doesn't really relate to the question. I'm just like pertaining to myself. I am big. He just
Mm-hmm.
kept saying that. So like, no, 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 no. I kept reminding him that you are not big because
Mm-hmm.
he was like not a really thin person. As I said, he was relatively thin. So I was
Mm-hmm.
like, you gotta stop um punching yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when I kept telling him that, he's not really that big, that you shouldn't be harsh on yourself like that.
Mm-hmm.
He then like lashed out and say that once again I am invalidating his feelings and trying to bring my personal thoughts into it, trying to bringing it about myself again.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so taken aback because, bro, how did it devolve into this argument again when I literally started the chat this day with me complimenting you?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know what, I'm just done. I really had no energy for it, so um he was like, so I just like stopped. At a point, I just stopped chatting to him that day. But then he
Mm-hmm.
came back and said, "Okay, I was obviously trying to get sympathy from you." That's what he said when he said that he was like fat. So
Oh.
I was like, "So you were expecting me to sympathize with you, that I was gonna validate his feelings that he was fat and that we should be sorry about it? Is that what you're saying?" Then he said,
Mm-hmm.
"Yes, obviously."
What? Why?
I was like, "Excuse me." I know,
Okay.
right? It was very weird because,
Mm-hmm. No,
it was
I'm
kind
just
of,
surprised. Why would you say that? Okay.
yes, it was very, I don't know. I felt like he had a manic attack again when he
Mm-hmm.
was just like spilling his thoughts at the table. So I
Mm-hmm.
was like, let's just rest for the day, It's a bit
Mm-hmm.
we're a bit heated, so let's just put this aside. Then he
Mm-hmm.
like took a last jab on me and said, "Oh yeah, I can't expect getting sympathy from you anyways." Then I was like,
What?
okay, he is trying me.
You literally
So
did give him sympathy, though. You were like trying to console him. What? What? Okay.
it wasn't the type of consolation that he was looking for, I guess. So
Okay.
then I reminded him of the times that he did wrong to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just told him before he tried to like close the chat up for the day, then I just told him, yeah, like when like when you invalidate my feelings and like leave me in the air when I want to get um consolation
Comfort.
from you
Yeah.
and comfort from you. And
Mm-hmm.
I just kept going on and on about this, which in hindsight, which was like the bad part of it as well.
Yeah.
But it completely set him off, and like his last words to me was like, "All right, that's it, bye." Then he just blocked me, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We communication were broke off, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh dang, this is really happening." But a few weeks before that, I was like already thinking about, oh, what if our friendship does end?
Mm-hmm.
What would it mean to me, and how would I react to it? And then I was just like, I don't know how to react to it.
Mm-hmm.
It was just I was just so tired of um receiving his, anger, his wrath for like every
Mm-hmm.
day. So I was just like, let's just see what happens. And when it did happen, I was in a state of nothingness and like shock, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what to feel, but I was like, huh, yeah, that word, huh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was the complete word that I would describe it.
Mm-hmm.
And this was like during the time that first day of the school was
Mhm.
happening. So it was like a big moment for me while
Mhm.
juggling to like meet my new classmates and like,
Mhm.
recovering from this.
I mean,
But
yeah, would have been like really draining to just, try and transition from like being really, really just distraught to just like, trying to act all happy, jolly to like see your new classmates and everything.
yes, but the thing is, it happened very smoothly for me. It was
Mhm.
like, oh, that happened. We move on. It was like, huh, okay. Okay
Mhm.
was the next word. It's the next phase of what I was like feeling. Okay, this
Mhm.
happened. I don't really have time to like go over this because I have to focus on school.
Mhm.
So then I did. But,
Mhm.
but yeah, but anyways, to close, that is like the end of that story. But, to give my peace of mind, um, like after thinking about it, it's been like almost a year. Gosh, in a few more months,
Mhm.
it's gonna be a year that we since talked. But
Mhm.
again, um, the thought of, um,
Yeah.
having a brother figure before and like thinking going back to like our memories, the
Mhm.
experiences that we had together, the moment that we like saw each other, it was like a very happy place of mine. And
Mhm.
in hindsight, I could have, as I said earlier, could have approached the situation a bit better. But then again, I I was the kid and I am still the kid. So
Mhm.
I think at I think at the very end of the day, um, apart from the fact that it's gonna be night at the end of the day, um,
Mhm. Okay.
it was really beneficial for the both of us to have part ways because I feel like our relationship were just taking a toll on our mental health as people and um looking at the factors that he was experiencing through that time, I could have been more
Mhm.
sensitive in approaching him and like um really try to like prioritize these feelings before, but then again I would think that it's not my obligation to do that.
Mhm.
So I really feel as if us splitting is a good thing for both of us so that we can focus on ourselves. And till this day, I get like flashes of like our greatness with each other, and I would think of it while like I'm with my new friends, and I
Mhm.
would wish him, you know, well. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's like the complete end of it. And I really
Mhm.
do wish him well. And if time comes that we meet each other again, I do hope that he is better, and I do hope that I am also ready to like become friends with him again.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm always willing to become friends with him again.
That's
But
good. Mhm.
yeah, that is the ending of it. Hope you
Oh.
were thrilled.
I mean, I'm just kind of shocked at how like things sort of spiraled downwards after like his life started going downwards. So
Yeah.
I mean, when this happened, right? It's just someone you speak to like so often, and it was just a sudden transition. How did you deal with that?
From the sudden transition, again, as I said earlier, I didn't really have a time to do like this whole, processing thing because
Mhm.
I was going through school, and the school
Mhm.
that I was like entering demands a high standard of education and
Mhm.
competency. So I was like, no, I have to focus. So
Mhm.
I really just set it aside until it really didn't affect me anymore. So that was kind
Mhm.
of the journey of it.
Mhm.
But I grew to reflect on it every now and then, and I use it now to keep my current relationships with other people a bit better than I I have done before.
Mhm. So
Yeah,
I
that.
mean, Okay, that's good. That's good. I'm happy for you in that way. So I mean, when talking about your friendship, um, when did it really like start like sort of going downwards? When did you start notice that like he was being a certain way to you and that it was affecting you?
Um, it was during the start of 2023. It was because
Mhm.
like both of us were like going through stuff, and
Mhm.
I the common factor that he would say was like um that I was invalidating him, and then I could never use the wrong things that he's done to me against him. It's
Mhm.
because like before I had a habit of like, oh, so you're like trying to be bad to me right now, so I'll remind you of the things that you did to me before
Mhm.
that I really didn't sit well with. So
Mhm.
I would like cite like things that he did to me that um he really hasn't asked like forgiveness for, things such as like being petty, even
Mhm.
like to the littlest things of like games, something like that.
Mhm.
He would like have a vile reaction on it, and from that I knew that this friendship is not gonna last long.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, at the end, I'm glad you're okay now. That's good.
Yeah.
And I mean, to conclude, would you like to tell the audience anything? Any advice? Any last comment?
Oh yeah, I have a really good one.
Oh, okay. Do tell.
So if there's one thing that I would say is that always be mindful of the other person.
Mhm.
Um, Although my story is about, getting over it and believing in yourself, I do
Mhm.
believe that I could really have approached it in a way that was more prioritizing of his feelings, and therefore I would encourage you to do the same as well.
Mhm.
Not necessarily prioritize other people's feelings over you, but to have the sense of conscious be conscious rather um about what you're saying to other people and how it would affect you, because mental health is a very um deciding factor as to how someone um goes through their life on a daily basis, and things such as word influence this. So
Mhm.
yeah, if that's an
Mhm.
advice that I would give to people, it would be this one.
Well, I find that as great advice. I also think that like it's good to be conscious of other people's feelings around you. Like you said, not
Mhm.
necessarily putting their feelings over yours, but to just have some mindfulness about it. Yeah,
Yes,
that's good. It's nice to like be conscious about people around you. It's how you like, continue to keep your circles the same way.
it really is.
Well, but I guess sometimes just things don't work out and it's not your fault.
Yeah, and it's never gonna be your fault if a relationship or um or rather it's never gonna be solely your fault, because a relationship is a two-way street. So
Exactly. Yeah.
there's always things that both persons or both parties done wrong to have led to this.
Mhm. I completely agree with that. Not enough
Yeah.
people know that. It's not always just one person. It's sometimes both parties.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. Well, thank you so much for coming on today's podcast, Lee. I'm
Well,
so happy to have you. Yeah.
thank
Hmm.
you for having me.
I'm so glad you could come on and tell your story, and I think you're very brave for that.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm really brave. I've been going through a lot.
I hope things get better. Okay, you can always talk to me. You can always even come here and talk if you want. Um,
Yeah, I know.
all right. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm your host, Luna, and I'll see you all next week. Bye bye. Thank you for watching this episode of The Crescent Sound. I hope you enjoyed and continue visiting this channel for more uploads. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to know immediately when I upload, and follow me on Instagram for updates on the coming episode for the Crescent Sound podcast.